Pecco back in the teens, looking amazing in FP4.
And I think they can do very good because finally we solved some
fluid on board. Even the very best. Brad Binder looks a bit uptight, a bit tense. He's really impressive on the year-old Ducati GP21. 15th on a high-class fifth row. Now the fireworks start pre-race. The fireworks are going to happen, aren't they, of course, over the next hour or so. It's always a spectacular show under the night lights. Last we just saw their CEO, Carmelos Valletta, George Viegas, our governing body, taking strong measures.
Race journey to crown our 2022 Moto GP World Champion.
Jorge Martin and Enea Bastianini, two rising stars on the front row of the grid. With the former, it's the FIFA World Cup final. What a massive sporting year for Qatar, and it all gets so your first front row MotoGP in 2022. 8 times world champion.
World Championship, and Enea Bastianini for the first time on the front row alongside him with Marc Marquez. Ruaro do from row 4 of the grid. He starts 11th for this opening round of the season as his title.
He comes to the head of the grid as the seconds tick down then towards one of the most unpredictable. Out and lift off for MotoGP in 2022 in Qatar. Not a bad start for the poleman. Jorge Martin gets the whole shot. Pol Espargaro slots into second. The initial
trying to go right around the outside of Marc Marquez, the Ducatis and the poleman behind him.
Pol Espargaro, he's just completely missed the start. All the lost ground he made off the start. It was a poor start from Martin.
He was trying to get the inside of Electrin, up the inside of Jorge Martin. Just the first lap that QATAR needed.
Getting wheel spin on that medium between 10 and 12k slower. Brilliant.
The inside of his teammate he goes. Pol Espargaro doesn't fight it too hard. Who would have expected? Absolutely. He's ahead of Enea Bastianini, who is the leading Ducati on the road. The Ducati
so strongly. Only down in 14th place at the end of the first lap after a wretched start. He's in the paddock so far this weekend. It's going to be all about the last 6 or 7 laps and who's conserved. Lewis just mentioned Bastianini, a 1:54.953. That's the best lap of the Grand Prix we've seen so far. On Sunday, he had a bit of a sprinkling of the old Valentino Rossi magic, didn't he? He's coming under pressure here.
Martin, is QATAR able to run this pace? He said yesterday after qualifying that was as good as
this lap. Here comes the Suzuki. We would not have seen this in the recent years. Will be a Suzuki nudging what?
Here comes Joan Mir again having a look up the inside. Brad Binder does like to take a wide line into turn 6, which suggests
like he was crashing in every corner with the improvements that KTM have made in the winter as well with their acceleration.
Yeah, a bit of a queue now for him behind Pol Espargaro. Marc Marquez did show a wheel, of course, early on in the race. He did go past the...
Just managing this pace. He's very, very wary, very conscious about tyre life in those last 6 or 7.
Rins was the fastest man once again on that last lap. He's running the soft front and the medium rear.
It hasn't gone his way at all. Excellent qualifying last night. 4th place. He's been relegated. Let's ride. Here's a bit of Ducati power, a bit of year-old Ducati power, trying to blitz past.
Brad Binder's got past Marc Marquez crucially as well. Brad Binder up into 2nd place. That is not what we expected.
He has, yeah, gone in way, way too hot. He was never going to stop that. Thankfully, he didn't lose the front.
He is ahead of his teammate and Lusail specialist Andrea Dovizioso by a couple of places. Binder
ahead of him. He's picked up some slipstream. He'll have the inside line and he eases by Marc Marquez.
In recent years with the wings, they help the bike stop as well when that device...
From 6th place on the grid, and he's been happy to make the front running here, of course. There's been missed opportunities, hasn't there, in the past? Brilliant.
I wonder whether there's a problem for Jack Miller. He's dropped right the way down to last position now. He's too... Yeah, Marco Bezzecchi's dropping down the field, unfortunately. The rookie who's had such an impressive
problem on the right-hand side of his tyre. It was almost launching him to the moon through all the right-handers. So Jack Miller's the mind of the Ducati management for that coveted factory seat next year. It's been knees and still a long, long way to go. There was
performance out of it. But Binder running comfortably in 2nd place. Bastian
in turn then's got about 4 tenths back to Martin. Started well. Honda have found some front-end confidence for their riders this year. They've certainly made it emblems
back in pre-season testing, which just underlines what an incredible performance Brad Binder has.
That motorcycle, send him into orbit, send him over the moon. They're already now trying to get the switches, aren't they?
Side of turn 1.
Well, he was so up and down last year, Miguel, and flatline on his performance.
Yeah, Bastianini, Marc Marquez, as Matt said a moment ago, setting his personal best lap of the race last time.
Really carrying on Fausto's legacy here, forming the MotoGP team.
Pecco down.
No! That's Pecco Bagnaia. What a disastrous night for the Ducati. He runs over to console Jorge Martin, looks right from underneath him, trail braking into the first corner on the outside, poor on.
The second trying to stay clear at the break, looking as if he wants to make a bid immediately.
He also wiped out Jorge Martin. Red faces on the red bike so far.